Welcome, everyone, to the Arts Academy podcast for August 6th. Not too much new today. Here's our agenda. So I'll let Mr. Ricciardi start off with our summer reading. Actually, I'll take that one. The summer reading, same as last week. It's on the district website. The link to both the freshman assignment and all the other assignments are in the notes from this episode and from last episode. So you can just go down and click the link right there. And those assignments are due at the beginning of the school year. Even if we are not in person, the English department still wants to have you guys do those things. So just be sure you're getting on top of that. And I know for the freshman assignment, there's a link in the actual assignment for the book. And for the upper class assignments, all the links that you need are in the assignment as well. So you really don't need anything that you have to get on your own. Just read the book and answer the questions there. Anything you want to add to that, or?
No, that's it. Yeah. Obviously, everyone's responsible for a summer assignment, and the teachers are gonna decide. I guess the first week of school, they'll let you know how they're gonna count that assignment towards a grade. Every teacher obviously has the right to decide their grading policy. So they'll decide how they're gonna grade that. But yeah, everything you said, Mr. G, is exactly what it is.
And you can take the next one.
Yeah, reopening options and the virtual option. So our reopening option was sent to the state. We communicated that with the teachers. We're going to have another meeting with the teachers on Tuesday to go over some more particulars. Right now, the way that we're going to open the school year is that 25% of our students will be in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we have a total population at High Tech High School of 1,200 students. So basically 25% or 300 of those students will be in on Monday, 300 Tuesday, 300 Wednesday, and obviously 300 Thursday. Friday is going to be used as a virtual day. It'll be a virtual option for all students, whether you choose that option or not. And then the virtual option separately, just so everybody is aware, we will send something out within the next 2 weeks to all families, parents, and students to decide if they want to take advantage of the in-school option, which you would be assigned 1 day a week to come to school, or to be totally virtual, which is your option under Governor Murphy's reopening plan that he updated actually last Friday. So under that option, every family has the option to take advantage of a total virtual plan. So you'll be virtual 5 days a week, and you won't come to school that 1 day. There'll be a form sent out, so there'll be a survey. You can decide, what your option would be. And again, we need to know that so we can take care of attendance, homeroom attendance, and obviously virtual attendance also.
And then I think one thing that we talked about is this is how we're starting out the school year, and then these numbers could change as we get into the school year. As the first marking period closes, second marking period, as we go through the year, the amount of people we bring in might increase, might decrease. So we'll see what happens with the state.
Yeah, I think what you said is a great point. It's safety and of everybody, of our teachers, faculty, and students is of utmost concern. So this is the option to start the school year. This is, I think, what we're going to commit to Q1. And in addition to that, there'll probably be a week or two at the beginning of the school year where we do have a little bit of an orientation process. We're working out the details for how that orientation would be delivered. We may do a virtual orientation for freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors by class. Just like we're kind of doing this podcast, and like we've done a lot of our faculty meetings while we've been, out of school at home. So that's a possibility for orientation. And then the second part, how do freshmen get their Chromebooks? We'd have to get all those freshmen into the building to get their Chromebooks, because we can't do a virtual option for freshmen if they don't have their Chromebooks. Right. The next part about that would be getting the teachers a little bit more and I know Mr. Gongora, I know you're involved in the professional development process, but giving the teachers a little bit more professional development so that they're comfortable delivering their lessons on a daily basis using this new option, right? Last year we started the school year entirely in school, then we went entirely virtual. Now we're kind of in between with this hybrid option. We have to teach students in the classroom and at home at the same time. So teachers are being tasked with, going back and forth with these different options. So they just got to make sure that they have the right tools to deliver their lessons.
Right. And yeah, I think we'll handle that all at the beginning of the year, during the first couple weeks of school.
Yeah.
Okay, you can take take the next couple.
Yeah. Gmail, Google Classroom, and PowerSchool. We've already commented on this. I'd like to be able to have an exact date for you when PowerSchool will be open to all upper class students and obviously incoming freshmen. But for the most part, counselors, just to skip one more bullet point down, counselors will be in August 10th. That's going to be this Monday. So we have a meeting on Monday. Probably going to give the counselors Monday and Tuesday to go through schedules, become familiar with the schedules, and they'll start reaching out to anyone where there may be some scheduling conflicts, possible scheduling conflicts. Freshmen and sophomores, I can just tell you this is an Arts Academy meeting. So for the most part, the arts freshmen and sophomores, there are no issues at all. The issue comes in junior and senior year where because of your major, it may prevent you from fitting into your foreign language or the elective that you chose. So I've reached out to a bunch of students already because I've already, run a few reports to figure out where those options lie. I may, run some more reports or send out some more emails over the next few days. And then Mr. Buscio just joined us. But again, Mr. Buscio and Miss Alvarez will be in on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So if you get an email from them, it's basically because we've committed the schedule and we're trying to make some last minute adjustments before we release it to the students. And I would think sometime next week, we're probably going to release it to the students. And then at that point, you could always reach out to Mr. Buscio or Miss Alvarez to make any other adjustments to your schedule. If you have any questions about your schedule right now, if you want to change an elective, if you selected one of the electives, whether it was during the original process back in, I guess that was in May, or going over the process, and maybe when Mr. Buscio or Miss Alvarez reached out to you to rank your electives, and you're not happy with that ranking anymore, send me an email. Because even if you send it to Mr. Buscio or Miss Alvarez, they're not in the building. They forward it to me anyway, and then I wind up handling it. So just send me an email, and I'll try to get that done. Because it's a lot easier to make all these changes before we commit the schedule. Once we commit it, everything is kind of set, and we have to do everything by hand. And it just becomes a little bit more tedious with the work involved. So, Mr. Bush, I know you got in on the tail end of that. Is there anything else to add in terms of scheduling from past experience?
No, not really. I mean, I know a lot of students have the teacher preference thing, and we don't like to give certain classes due to whatever popular teachers there are. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case when we're in all week. But yeah, with the rising seniors, we had the prioritizing. So hopefully everything runs smooth with that. I am getting some emails from rising juniors about, some wanting to keep the language, some want different electives that they're available. So, like I said, like you said, I'll be in next week, and so will Miss Alvarez. So we'll be able to fix things up a little bit.
And again, I think the most important part of why it's important to maybe reach out today or Monday is that if we can change your options before we commit the schedule, we may be able to open up more sections for certain courses, depending on, if a course, if I'll just throw out an example. If 25 students want to take a certain course, let's call it creative writing, comes to mind. There was a big group of students who want to take creative writing. We only have 2 teachers teaching it. There's 2 sections of it. So we were able to accommodate, I think there were actually 35 requests for that. So we were able to accommodate 35 requests. What Mr. Buscio is saying is if there are 18 requests, let's say, for a different course, marine biology, and all of a sudden 5 students want to take marine biology next week, or get a huge number, say 15 students, we can't open up another section next week. We can do it now before we commit the schedule. So if there's anything that you're waiting till next week to tell us you'd like to change, it's in your best interest and our best interest for you to tell us that now so that we can maybe move sections around to accommodate everybody. Because next week there's going to come a time where we can't accommodate certain requests because the section is maxed out and the teacher is maxed out. So, just try to do it today, do it tomorrow. Send me an email over the weekend. I'll check the email. I'll update it over the weekend. It's not a big deal. And then Monday, that's when we're basically all in. So basically, if you don't send me an email by probably Monday, or Mr. Buscio or Miss Alvarez, there's a chance you could be locked out of a course. There's still a chance based on teacher availability. But that's the counselors. And yeah, they'll be in next week. We're looking forward to that. And then incoming freshmen, there have been a bunch of freshmen who have not uploaded their photo. I don't know specifically who it is. I don't have a list, or else I would reach out to you. But I know that there's I think there's like 30% of the freshman class has not uploaded the photo. The way that you upload the photo is using your Gmail, Google Classroom sign-in. So that was already sent to you. If anybody doesn't have that information, by all means, you can reach out to me. I have everybody's Gmail sign-in information, their school Gmail for incoming freshmen, so I can send that to you. And again, Mr. Gongora already created the Google Classroom for the freshman class. And once the classes are open to teachers, one of the first things they're going to be asked to do is create their Google Classrooms for their individual sections, because if we're starting the school year with a virtual option, there has to be a way for these teachers to communicate with you students, and that would be through Google Classroom. So as soon as you check your email, when you see those invites, I believe, Mr. Gongora, I believe it generates an invite email, and then the student checks in.
And right now we have 55 in the classroom out of the 100 something that we accepted. So about half. So definitely make sure you're checking on that and sign into the Academy Google Classroom. And then, as we get closer to the beginning of the school year, the teachers will start making yours.
Yeah, and that's about it. It's there's a lot of things going on this week, just not a lot of things to announce just yet. Students will be getting. Go ahead,
question from the chat about the reopening. Right, like we've used to do, freshmen one day, sophomores another day. I don't think we're sure of that yet.
No, well, I can tell you what we are going to do. We're breaking it up by academy, by class, so that, for example, we don't want to bring all freshmen in on Monday, let's say, because there's supposed to be 6 feet of social distancing space, and if we brought in all the freshmen, all these freshman classrooms that have 20 and 24 students in those classes would be too populated. So what we're trying to do is break it up by class, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and by academy, so that we don't get a day where there's a misbalanced arts day where we have a majority of the students in the building. So we're trying to break it up by academy and then by class within that academy.
But even for like the first week of the year where we did the specific class orientation and we only brought in freshmen or we only brought in sophomores, are we going to do something like that again, or is that going to be all online?
Again, the plan right now is to do that orientation online, do a virtual orientation, so that the students don't have to come in the building, because if we brought in all those freshmen,
right,
that would defeat the purpose of social distancing. So we're probably going to do that orientation online. If anything, if freshmen would be the only class that we really may bring in the building. Probably not everybody, maybe 75 or 100 freshmen at a time, and across all the academies, so we can split them up. But the only reason that we would probably do that is if we had to give lockers and Chromebooks out. So that's been one of the discussions, part of the discussions. How do we get all the freshmen, the incoming freshmen, their Chromebooks? That hasn't been decided yet. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was everything from our agenda.
Yeah, right. We think we went through it. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of new stuff this week. A lot of review of the last 2 podcasts. Things that are still coming up through emails and stuff like that. Again, after every podcast, I wind up getting a steady, 5 to 10 emails from students with things that we address in the podcast. So again, just feel free, students or parents, email me. Our emails are in on the bottom, the description of this YouTube podcast. So you can just find our email, shoot us an email, and let us know, and we can always help you out.
Yep. And so I think that's it. I think we'll sign off here. Definitely reach out if you have any questions. Next week we might have a lot more of exactly what our first couple weeks are going to look like, and hopefully you'll tune into that. So we will see everyone next week.